This is the Paracave Podcast, proudly brought to you by major sponsor Jack's Pale Ale, exclusively available at Parramatta Leagues Club, Shannon Cooney from Glenmore Park Realty, Bo Cook from Loan Market, BTZD, the official apparel partner of the Paracave Podcast, and the Parramatta Times, the official media partner of the Paracave Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Paracave Podcast. And now over to your host, Troy Warner, broadcasting live from the world-famous Paracave.
And yes, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Paracave Podcast. Troy Warner here, and this is the replay chat that I have with the Duckman on Pulse FM 89.9 FM each and every week. Now, during this chat, we will cover the Pacific Championships in Rugby League that are being played, both men's and women's games. First time we see the New Zealand Kiwis play in the men's and the Fijians in the men's, and the Tongan women and the PNG women as well in these championships. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the one-day international World Cup cricket tournament that's happening as well. So who knows what else we'll talk about as well. But this is the replay chat. You can catch it live on a Friday and a Sunday at about 7:05 p.m. on 89.9 FM. But if you cannot catch it live, you will catch the replay here on the Paracave Podcast. So it's now over to you, Duckman.
All right, there you go. Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Wrap. So here with the Duckman, Lewis and Troy Warner from the Paracave Podcast. Troy, how you going?
Going fantastic, Duckman, for a Friday. Hello, Lewis. How you going, mate?
Yeah, g'day, mate. How are you?
Pretty good. Ready to dive into a chat about all things sport.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll kick off with the Rugby League. So let's have a look at the results from last weekend. The Kangaroos got up against Samoa there, 38 points to 12. Were you impressed with that result?
Yeah, look, the Kangaroos, they started off really fast in that first half, 28 points to 6 at half time, and they sort of probably took the foot off the pedal in the second half. Maybe Samoa stepped up in the second half a little bit, but I thought the Kangaroos were always going to win this game anyway. But it was a little bit closer in the World Cup final last year, but a must-win game for Samoa this week against the Kiwis.
Yeah, absolutely. The other game that happened over the weekend was a good result too, actually, in Pacific Bowl. Where's the Pacific Bowl? What is this about? The Kumals took on Cook Islands, and they beat them 46-10.
Yeah, so I think the Pacific Bowl is like the lesser of the Pacific nations. So your PNG, your Cook Islands, and I think Fiji as well. So I think Samoa, New Zealand and Australia are in the Pacific Championships up the top there, so I think there's two sort of levels. But yeah, you're right, the Kumals, they really gave it to the Cook Islands, 30-0 at half-time in front of their home fans. They just really, it was like a training run for them. Nene McDonald scored 4 tries, and I think he's just signed over with a Super League side as well, so... 46 points to 10 against the Cook Islands. Look, the Cook Islands, they are a sort of a developing nation. They have been playing in World Cups, but they just don't have that experience against some of these nations, and it's good to see PNG get a win.
Yeah, so this is the big thing. So the Pacific Championship, it's more than about Australia. This is why I think there should be an Indigenous side in it as well, if it can. Like, let's split it up a little bit. Let's water down the Australian squad and give more people an opportunity and a bigger diversity of, I don't know what nationalities, and including the Indigenous people, an opportunity to play when they may or may not play. Like, there's a lot of Indigenous players anyway that would be pretty much shooing guys into the Australian side. So some people go, what's the point of doing that? it was like when Australia A used to play cricket, right? So it was good cricket to watch when the one-day cricket was here, had Australia A and Australia, and they had like the four-team series. So why not do it? So I think it's a good idea. Nene McDonald, who was he playing for last year? He was playing for the Cowboys, wasn't he?
I think St George, by memory.
Yeah. So, well, they stuffed up if they let him go. I can tell you that right now.
Let me just
he's
check
a
that
decent player.
Yeah, look, he has been around and at a few clubs. And, yeah, look, he has been around at a few clubs in the NRL, the Roosters, the Titans, the Dragons, the Cowboys, the Sharks, and has actually spent a bit of time over in England recently and has signed with the Salford Red Devils for 2024.
Yeah, so that'll be a good signing for him. I think he'll get better money over there, and he's got a real big chance to shine because he has got a lot of attack and flair. We're saying that he is getting on a little bit now, but he's still a good player. So the game we've got tomorrow here, got the Kiwis up against Samoa, so 4:00, Eden Park. How do you reckon that one's going to turn out?
Yeah, look, it's going to be a massive crowd there with these two nations playing. The first time we've seen the Kiwis in this Pacific Championship, so they'll be keen to get off with a win against the Samoans. The Samoans will want to get a win to get their wins on the board, obviously. I think if they lose this game, then they'll be out of the Pacific Championship, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It's a relatively unchanged squad for the Samoans. Young Tanamapia's out, and his Melbourne Storm teammate Marion Seve replaces him. For the Kiwis, they've got a pretty sort of formidable side. We've seen Joey Manu in the past play a bit of fullback for them. He's named in the centres with Charles Nickel-Clockstar playing at fullback. So I don't know if during the game they may switch it up a little bit and Joey might go back to fullback and Chance go into the centres during the game. It just depends on how that one's going. Dylan Brown and Jerome Hughes at half and 5'8". And congratulations to James Fisher-Harris, who captains the New Zealand side for the first time. And he's partnered with his Penrith Premiership winning prop Moses Leota as well. So they've got the best props in the game, New Zealand, at the moment.
Yeah, so it will be a very good side. Interested to see Stephen Crichton's playing number 6 here for Samoa, so that's an interesting mix. The shame he's not playing against Joey Manu, because wherever he played 6 against him, 2, 5, wherever, he's going to carve him up, because Joey Manu, seriously. The guy, he still annoys me. He's like, I'm not getting over that. This one's going to be a lifelong one. So it just annoys me. So it's definitely his attitude. So I've been trying to work out what it is that grinds my gears. He can play. It just comes across very arrogant, and it's not taken well by some people. And I am the some people I'm talking about, and it just rubs me the wrong way.
Well,
so let's have a look at the
fact
Kiwi side.
The fact that Suafa'alongo, the exciting fullback from the Melbourne Storm, he's back at fullback for the Samoans. He had a try disallowed against him. It was a fantastic try last week against the Kangaroos, but they decided it was a no try. That's why he's back at fullback. If not, we may have seen Crichton back at fullback if he wasn't playing, but I think Crichton's just filling that void of a 5'8" with Jerome Luai unavailable at the moment.
Well, all he's doing is showing more versatility. So what do you think of Stephen Crichton, how he plays, Lewis?
Well, look, I think Stephen Crichton plays good footy. I'm not a big fan of Stephen Crichton myself. I think he's a little bit overrated.
Yeah.
But
we'll find out when he goes to Canterbury, because he doesn't have a lot of fire going on at the Bulldogs. So we'll find out very quickly next year. Because he'll be I think he's going to be the X factor in the back line with Josh Addo-Carr. So who else have the Bulldogs really got through their back line, Troy, next year?
They got Matt Burton, obviously, he's still there. Just trying to think off the top of my head. You spun me there. Obviously Stephen Crichton, Matt Burton, the halfback from the Gold Coast Titans who came down mid-season.
Toby Sexton.
That's right. Addo Carr.
They've got some decent guys. They're still trying to build on it. So this is part of the problem they're going to have. So they need to get. It's a slow build. Like they've got some good young players coming through too. So their SG Ball side and some of their lower grade sides have done all right the last couple of years. So
Well,
I still
speaking
thinking
outside backs for the Bulldogs, Jacob Carraz has re-signed with the Bulldogs till the end of the 2027 season today. So he'll be there for a few more years, and he's an exciting young talent for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that'll be a decent pickup. So I reckon the big pickup for next year at the moment, just as everything says it's going to happen, is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is coming back to the Warriors. So looking at his Kiwi side at the moment, if he was available, would he be playing fullback, or would Charles Nickel-Clockstad be playing fullback?
I don't think Roger will be selected if he was playing at the moment, simply because he hasn't played the game for a while. And he's back to due play next year, so I think he wouldn't be nominated for selection anyway, and I think he would say that himself.
Yeah, I really think that Kieran Foran's probably feeling a bit hard done by not getting picked, considering Joey Manu's starting. So,
Kieran Foran's on the bench, so you may see him play a bit of hooker during the game as well. As a bit of an interchange, and he's also cover for those halves if need be.
Yeah, 100%. So have you caught any of the cricket at the moment, the one-day cricket?
Well, just before we duck off to the cricket, the other signing news during the week, there's a bit of action happening in the rugby league world. Morgan Harper from the Manly Sea Eagles has signed with Parramatta on a one-year deal from next year. Also at Parramatta, Andrew Davey announced his retirement from the NRL following medical advice from experts. Over in England, former Dragon Gareth Widdop announced his retirement from rugby league. And the Tigers have re-signed a few players, including fan favourite Alex Twal until the end of 2027. And the big one for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, Keon Kolamatangi, he's re-signed as well. So he'll be there till the end of 2026. And also Jerome Luai has, I think, signed with a new management company. He's going to try and test himself on the open market in a couple of weeks' time. So if the Panthers want to nab him early, they've got a couple of weeks to do that.
So I threw out on SEN yesterday. I was chatting to Jimmy Smith, and I said, Jimmy, I think Jerome Luai might sign for the Roosters. I think he genuinely might. So if he wants to go to a side that's got a genuine premiership chance. And he goes, he could see it happening. But I said that I rate him 1.1 million. They got about 50 messages complaining about how the Roosters blow the salary cap all the time as soon as I sent that in. So I think Jimmy wasn't happy that I sent it in. He goes, oh, Duckman, now I'm going to get the hate. So I should flick you the hate. So, that's all right. So,
pass it on.
So I actually think the more I look at it, Jerome Luai is probably highly likely to be looking at the Bulldogs if he left Penrith. So there's just the makings are there, right? So you've got Stephen Crichton is there. You've got Matt Burton there. You've got Gil Gould there now as well. You've got Serraldo there. So it's just building it up. Kikau's there. They just need a couple of the right pieces and the right balance of the team. So I think they need another prop. If they picked up Luai, so we've got versatility. I think you need to play him at 6. What do you do with Burton? But if you do that, it's maybe Luai plays 7, Burton plays 6. Keep Crichton out at fullback. It changes your whole shape of your team and gives you strike weapons right across at least the middle of the field and then the back end of the field too. So your centres are going to have to be an area they're going to want to focus on if that's the case. If they want Crichton to play fullback, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have left Penrith just to play centre again.
Yeah, no, I think he's gone there to play fullback. Definitely at the Bulldogs, given that opportunity to strengthen that position there at fullback with Jake Averillo going up to the Dolphins next year. And yeah, I think that's the position that Crichton wants to play. So he'll be going to the Bulldogs as a fullback, in my opinion. Earlier this week as well, Jerome went in for his shoulder operation as well. By all means, it was a success, and he will be back ready for definitely round one next year, maybe the early rounds of next year. So that it takes about a 3 to 4 month recovery apparently. So he'll be right there. And it was also revealed as well that Nathan Cleary got surgery, I think, on his finger as well, his badly damaged finger that he damaged on the lead up to the grand final. So amazing that another amazing thing that come out of the grand final, you could say, about Nathan Cleary playing with a busted finger as well.
Yeah, so he's a very good player, robust too, Nathan Cleary. So to be able to do that sort of stuff, I know a lot of people just blow it off like real flippant. Oh, somebody had a broken finger, anyone can do it. Try doing it, but try actually doing it and going out there and playing like 3 or 4 games in a row. Yeah, first grade rugby league, when people know that it's broken, if someone lands when tackling you, well, where do you reckon they're going to land on your hand and all that sort of stuff? Make sure they give you the absolute...
You've got to target the injury.
Yeah, 100%. So I used to try to... I could see people had concussions before they had them. So what are you talking about? Well, they have them after a drop of forearm or two, so they can sort it out. But yeah, it's tough business, rugby league, to play professional football. We'll jump into the cricket here. So Australia's up against Pakistan tonight. Have you caught any of the cricket lately?
Look, I've watched a little bit of it. I watched a little bit of the game the other night against Sri Lanka. The way that I was watching it when Sri Lanka were batting, and it was looking like that they were going to post a really big score and Australia were going to lose another game, but Australia came back and obviously won that game, and as you said, they're playing Pakistan tonight. Another interesting clash, and one I guess they need to win as well. They've snuck up to 6th on the table now, the Australians, so they're slowly creeping their way up. The amazing thing during the week was that game between England and Afghanistan, with Afghanistan getting the win over the English. So look, anything in World Cups, there can be upsets here and there. So that was one of them, which was great to see a country like Afghanistan get a win over England, as England were the clear favourites for that game. But at the moment, as it stands, I think it doesn't look like anyone's going to be beating India at the moment. I mean, they've got their home conditions over there, they've got the home crowd over there, and they're flying 4 wins in a row. So, along with the Kiwis as well, 4 wins in a row.
Yeah, 100%. So now I don't want to cast any aspersions on South Africa, but we all know what happened when Hans Cronje was involved in the cricket. They lost to the Netherlands the other day, got tapped up a bit. Does that look suspicious?
Oh, look, I think those days, I shouldn't say they're probably gone, but you'd like to think that they were gone, and you'd like to think that the Netherlands have just played the games of their life and just got that win. So, as I said, in World Cups, anything can happen. You get the big upsets. If you're not on the day, then you're not going to get the result. So, I'd like to think those days of match fixing are well and truly gone.
Oh yeah, it would be a legit score. So I actually think this Netherlands side, I've had a look at them the last couple of years. I think they're decent enough that they could actually probably beat Sri Lanka tomorrow night as well when they play them. They might pick up a couple of wins in this tournament, which would be really good for them. Richard told us just before, he reckons the Netherlands has someone that opening batter that plays in Melbourne. So, here we go. A bit of Scott Edwards guy he's talking about. So, maybe he is. So, one of the guys I brought up with used to play for Netherlands. He said, I used to play for Australia as well. Maybe he did, but he also played for Netherlands. So, it's interesting that that's all going on. So, the other thing we're having a look at here, so got a Formula One Grand Prix. Do you get into that much at all, Troy?
Look, I try to catch a little bit here and there. Obviously, with the time differences, it's hard to stay up and watch them. But there's certain races that I watch throughout the year. Obviously, the Australian Grand Prix. I like to watch the Monaco Grand Prix as well, or Monaco, however you want to pronounce it. And look, I'll try and watch a little bit, but I obviously catch up with all the results here and there as well. I just get a little bit sort of despondent when Max Verstappen wins all the time. I think, look, he's a champion driver and world champion, and he's obviously got the fastest car and the best car in the best team. I'd just like to see, different winners win it all the time, but that's not the case. But look, it was great. The last race, Oscar Piastri, I think it is, from McLaren, the Aussie.
Yeah.
Piastri, that's right, sorry. Get his win and I think a second place in the sprint races last time. Look, that's always great to see. And I think Daniel Ricciardo is back this week as well in the race in America from a broken hand. So...
Yeah, first day back in 5 races, so he's been out for a little while.
We'll be in for practice 1.
Yeah, after taking AlphaTauri, so he jumped in the AlphaTauri seat from Nick De Vries, the Canadian. So I happen to think Nick De Vries is doing too bad a job, but they are very, very impatient. There's not many races at that level. So if you don't aim up, you can guess your meal ticket's coming to an end pretty quick. So
I mean, you pretty much want
guarantee.
your hands working when you're driving a Formula One car. So it's not as if it's like a broken finger in rugby league. You can just tape it up and try and play on. But yeah, you want your hands working in a Formula One car. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I know I used to be able to drive when I had a Nissan Skyline back in the day. I used to be able to drive about 180, 190 k's an hour, drinking a chocolate thick shake with my arm out the window, eating a meat pie and all that sort of stuff. Not sure these Formula One guys are going to be doing that. Drinking. Have you seen Talladega Nights before, Troy?
Oh, absolutely. One of my favourite movies.
So I love the sign when Sacha Baron Cohen's driving around the track drinking a macchiato, and then Ricky Bobby slams into the back of him and he goes, oh, macchiato. And then that's it. So just absolutely cracks it. So I've got some suggestions for Bathurst I think would be good too.
Okay, this will be interesting. What do you got?
Bathurst was supposed to be the big ball fest this year. I reckon they need to send out make the drivers take out at least kids for at least 160 to 200 Ks worth of the race. So they don't have to be their kids, but they've got to take kids. They should have to put a little mobile Macca's somewhere around. They've got to stop and do at least one Macca's pit stop. And then listen to the kids say, I need to go to the toilet. And the other thing they need to do, I reckon, it would test them out if part of a race, what should have to do is reverse a caravan into the pits. And then the other thing you should do, they should let old people out on the track with caravans in some four-wheel drive. It looks like they've got sleep disorders and just going to get in people's way and slow it up. So surely that will change the race up a bit.
Yeah, look, I mean, I must admit, I guess this year's race was a little bit boring, if it was. I mean, there wasn't much action on the track throughout the day. I think there was only about 3 safety cars during the whole race. So, look, I think some of those suggestions would sound all right. I mean, I could just vision it now. You have the car with the caravan at the top of the mountain and the faster car behind it, just trying to get around it, but can't get behind it. Yeah. It has to wait until Conrad straight to overtake it. So, look, some of those suggestions would be all right. And then, the Macca's run, drop in the pit, through the drive-through, and then suddenly realise that they haven't fulfilled the order properly and they've got to go back in again.
Go back and fix it. Yeah,
that's it. So,
I want to see some of those window washers you see down on the Great Western Highway at Kingswood with the little thing, the squidgy, come out trying to get $5 off there. I want to see them coming when the guys try and do a pit stop and change their tyres and that stuff, come out there rubbing away out the windows, put their hand. So, and they're pretty good, these blokes now. They even got tap and go facilities and that sort of stuff. So a bit more advanced than what they were back in the day.
Yeah, I could see that happening in a pit stop. And, look, it just sort of reminds me of the Late Show on TV with the Mr. Whippy Grand Prix with the cars running around, and one bloke got disqualified.
Mick Malloy and Rob Sitch.
Yeah, one bloke got disqualified for playing the wrong music. So,
They played Led Zeppelin 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, look, I'm all for it. Let's have some sort of a race like that. That'd certainly liven it up. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. We'll go to one more serious thing before we let you go, Troy. So the women's Big Bash League is on this weekend and got the Sydney Smash on Sunday. So got Sydney Thunder are up against Sydney Sixers. So that is 5:25 p.m. Are you going to be watching that match?
I'll probably be watching the rugby league at that time, but I'll probably catch the start of that game, I think. And look, I mean, the Sydney Smash, then you're going to have to go. I'm going to have to go for the Sydney Thunder, I think, in that one, rather than the Sixers, being a West man. So I'll have to go the Thunder in that one.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be doing the same. I'm trying to get Sydney Thunder on so we can give away some tickets or something to some of their games throughout this season through the WBBL and the BBL as well. So
I saw
on
the back page on Foxtel the other night, Phoebe Litchfield, an interview with her, and she looks like a really good excitement machine for this BBL, and she's really keen for this game. So they didn't get the win last year in this clash, so they want to redeem themselves and get the win.
Yeah, I think they'll do pretty well. Elise Perry, so she's named in the Sydney side as the captain, but she's not playing. So I don't know why she's out. I know Ashley Gardner's playing for sure, but Phoebe Litchfield should be playing for Sydney Thunder as well. And who was it? Someone got interviewed the other day from Sydney Thunder, trying to think, was it Hannah Darlington maybe? So one of the bowlers got interviewed on Big Sports Breakfast and had a good old chat about it too. So it's a very good professional women's sporting competition actually in Australia. It's be close to the benchmark, probably very close to Super Netball. So AFLW is making inroads on it. Now NRLW is too, but the women's BBL cricket, they do a phenomenal job. Number one, promoting it, getting it out there, giving it TV exposure, the whole thing. So it's good to see women get out there.
Well, it's going to be great to watch because the Australian women's side is just so pretty much dominant in the world game at the moment. So they seem to win everything. Ashes against the Kiwis, against the Indians as well. So look, they're pretty dominant in the international space. So it's great to see the national teams play in this competition. This game's being played at North Sydney Oval, and the disappointing news came through during the week that the New South Wales government isn't going to lend money to upgrade North Sydney Oval. So that's a bit of a downer because it's a great venue, certainly North Sydney Oval, and a lot of women's sport is being played there, as well as the North Sydney Bears in the Arrive Alive Cup, I think it is at the moment, in the NRL.
Yeah, so Northern Suburbs played in rugby union as well. I got injured there playing at North Sydney Oval one day, and I wasn't even on the field. No, I was running up the stupid bloody stairs out of the ground, out of the change room. So
that's right, because you got to go upstairs, don't you, to get onto the field?
Yeah, that's right. So, I rolled my ankle and I was hobbling around for like the first half of the game, and I just didn't last in the second half. I was done. So I already played a fourth grade game and backed up third grade in half second. So I was done, had nothing.
It's a good field to play. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is a good field to play on. The cricket pitch, I'm telling you, I did get slammed in the cricket pitch after putting a hit on Ryan Cross. Someone decided to square me up, didn't see who it was. They didn't miss, and my head got dragged halfway up the cricket pitch, so on the ground. So they let it be known that don't do that again. So and I didn't do that again, and then I went off injured. So there we go. For anyone out there. Troy, what do you got over the weekend coming up?
I'll have a replay of this chat come out, and also tomorrow I'll be working, and it'll also be my 12th wedding anniversary tomorrow. So we'll do something in the afternoon, I guess, after work when I get home. I can't give too much away. The wife might be listening right now, so I won't give too much away what I've got planned, but I'll have to plan something. But look, and I'll be watching some rugby league. I'll get up to date with the cricket and also the Formula One as well. Keep an eye on that one, and chat to you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to you and Amanda. So is she a long-suffering wife or is she like a happy-go-easy wife? Because my wife is getting cranky and long-suffering now.
She'd have to be a happy-go-lucky wife, I think, married to me, I think.
Yeah. That's
probably what she tells me, but no, she's great. She's great. So, yeah, 12 years tomorrow.
It's very exciting when that happens. Troy, thanks very much for your time tonight. We'll chat to you again on Sunday night.
No worries, fellas. Thank you very much for having me, and enjoy your sport over the weekend.
Absolutely will do. That you then, Troy. See you, bye.
See you, boys.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Paracave Podcast. See you next time.